This week, our Guru is talking to us about faith, belief, and wisdom. And our Guru, Paramahansa Yogananda, starts out by pointing out in the Christian Bible, it says, that faith without works is dead. We find this in James 2:26. Right? So what does it mean? Right? Faith without works is dead. Right? What it means is this intuitive experience of all truth is present in the soul. Right? And faith gives birth to human hopes and the desire to achieve. But it can also be hidden behind a wall of ignorance. Right? You know, most people don't really know a lot about this intuitive faith that is latent in all souls, which is the secret spring of all of our hopes, all of our dreams, all of our aspirations. You see, the words belief and faith have two very different meanings. You see, belief is when you imagine the reality of something without actually knowing it to be certain through your own experience. Right? And it, but there is, in that belief an expectation that, someday, sometime you will know that, for instance, you may say, I believe in the existence of an almighty power, and I expect that someday I shall know for certain. Right? This is belief. Right? You believe it. And such blind faith, our Guru tells us, can be dangerous, right? Because when we have a false expectation that God will just come to us without making any effort to find God, well, that's a challenge, right? So belief is only good as long as it's giving us the desire to realize what we're believing. Right? When we realize it, then we'll know. And until then, we believe what we read or what somebody told us, right? Or maybe what we're hoping for. Now, belief is good as long as it's being an incentive to work out what you want to accomplish, right? Because unless we work for if we don't work for what we believe in, we won't get what we believe in. And our belief in God must be tested to prove its value. Otherwise, it's worthless. Blind faith alone will not bring the desired results, the lasting desired results. We must use the method that will bring lasting, real results, right? Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that yoga is greater than the path of devotion. Yoga is the scientific method of uniting the soul with the spirit. Yoga, union, right? And we must learn the laws of concentration and meditation and use those methods that our gurus have taught us again and again, over and over, until we get the results, real results, lasting results. A belief converted into experience becomes faith. A belief is valueless if we don't test it and if we don't live by it. And that is why the prophet Malachi told us. He said, prove me now, herewith, saith the Lord of hosts. If I will not open you the window of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall be room enough to receive it. Right? The trouble, brothers and sisters, is that the ignorance of delusion possesses us as soon as we are in the egoistic, wakeful state. It is a physiological defeat when one limits oneself to this body consciousness. At such times, well, then we need to be saved from our limitations, right? We have to be saved from the consciousness that this world is real, that these bodies are real, and that all the things that are happening to us are real. But you can't do that through blind faith. Blind belief in the great and wondrous Creator doesn't get us very far, right? Blind faith, right? In other words, faith that is devoid of works or devoid of spiritual effort will smother the reason, right? But God will take care of us, no worries, right? God will take care of us through reason if we adopt the measures and the activities that will give us that salvation, that will save us, right? If we shut ourselves up in a room and affirm that God will make me rich, well, you'll find that God's not just going to pour money in through the window somewhere, right? We find we have to get up and get out and do something to earn. We got to work, right? We got to do something. Success can only come through our effort, our own efforts. And if we want to be saved, we must make an effort, maybe even continuous effort, to give first importance to our source, right? We have to combine reasoning and spiritual effort together. Logic, reason with effort. We can never find God if we camouflage our reason. And blind faith camouflages our reason. You may believe that you're prosperous, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are prosperous. Right? Our great and wondrous Creator, our source, has given us the power to take care of ourselves. And when we do not use our own reason and act in the right way, then we're bound to suffer. We will have to use divine and human laws to really make that connection with our source, and conscious connection with our source. And our Guru advises us to work systematically, scientifically, and steadily. Right? Faith is good if you exercise it as a spur to drive you to the path, so that you'll use greater effort. Right? That's a good thing then. So, brothers and sisters, don't say tomorrow I'll meditate longer. Don't say tomorrow I'll do this or that. Don't procrastinate, right? You may suddenly find that an entire year has passed by without you having done any of your desires. Our Guru guides us to say, this can wait, that can wait, but our search for God cannot wait. Right? Our search for that connection to our source cannot wait. And we must learn the difference between imaginative, theoretical knowledge and true realization. Right? Could you nourish yourself by only listening to a talk about food? No, right? So, right, if you were to try to eat only through theoretical talking, you would always be hungry. We have to actually eat to satisfy the hunger, isn't it? Right? So, those who are seeking continuously after new doctrines, but never put them into actual practice in their life, then we could say they are in continual spiritual starvation. Right? In ordinary life, uh, people are kind of working like a wood carver with a wood chisel of material ambitions to mold the substance of their thoughts and energies into various shapes of worldly accomplishments. And they use that chisel of desire incessantly until it becomes old and dull and worn out. But as a soul, people can never find truly lasting satisfaction merely through possessions and selfish interests. Right? With the dawn of spiritual ambition, then one's choosing the chisel of wisdom to mold their life in a divine way. Right? Only that chisel of wisdom can shape the crude mortal human consciousness into holy beings who love God and humbly serve all people, right? Unconditionally. And our Guru has shown us how to use this chisel of wisdom in his teachings of Kriya Yoga, how to make ourselves into a fitting temple to receive God. And anyone, anywhere, everywhere can do it if they just simply follow the precepts of these divinely illuminated teachers, or any divinely illuminated teacher. Brothers and sisters, seek wisdom without measure. Don't why seek limited wisdom? We want unlimited wisdom, don't we? Let's not search for little drops of wisdom here and there from tiny earthly sources. Guru says, seek boundless wisdom from our great and wondrous creators, all possessing, all powerful, all bountiful, almighty hands alone. Right? Then in the valley of your humbleness, right? That's where the fathomless ocean of God's wisdom will automatically gather there. Right? So our Guru is pointing out to us that wisdom is superior to faith, and that faith is superior to belief. It's a step-by-step process, right? Belief is, well, where we begin, right? When we believe what people are telling us or what we've heard or what we've read. Faith is when we have had that experience. And wisdom is when we use that faith to fulfill our hopes and dreams. Right? Let us share in a prayer from our Guru to help really get this in our consciousness a little better. It's entitled, Inflame Us with Your Consciousness, Lord. O eternal light, pour down through our thoughts, through our feelings, and through our emotions. Eternal love, pour down through our heart and make us feel your presence, your eternal power. Pour down through our wisdom and inflame us with your consciousness. Purity of dross, purify that dross within us, that we may be free of disease and poverty and banish disease and poverty from the world evermore. Banish ignorance from the shores of our souls. Lead us from darkness to light, from ignorance to wisdom, from sorrow to bliss, from desire to contentment. Oh, thank you, God. Thank you, God. We love you. Thank you, God, for loving us too.